And we're live.
North Korea entertained me today. So
What
North
did they
Korea has banned sarcasm. If people don't know anything about North Korea, you have to like be in a line with Kim Jong Un. Kim Jong Un. I think I have that close to right. UN. And anyway, so like when his father died, they're out wailing in the streets, almost like competitive grieving, you know, to be the one who was most impacted by the death of the father. And just checking something. So like culturally, they're not allowed to disagree. And the more in alignment they are, the better. But it looks like people have been using sarcasm as a way to disagree. You know, like there are a couple examples in this article that this is all America's fault.
No, great leader, I'm not starving to death.
Right. Well, like something bad would happen, and they'd say, "This is all America's fault," and that sarcastic tone was a way to like sort of speak out against the great leader without being misquoted or anything. You know, like and they were using sarcasm. There was another one too that.
Who's going to head up the sarcasm police? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, all the sarcasm brown shirts to march around goose stepping into people's houses. Have you been, being sarcastic? No. And then can you picture the big rallies they're having of a guy like on a soapbox like, no one would ever say anything bad about our dear leader. I mean, can you guys imagine it? And they're all like, no. And he's like, I know. And the Americans, us, so much impact on our daily life. I can hardly eat my one loaf of bread per day without thinking about how much America's the reason I don't get to eat meat. Like, oh, yeah, you're right. Kim Jong-un's really doing a great job. It's these Americans. Like, that has to be borderline what's going on, right? For them to make it illegal.
I love it. Like, one, it shows a crack in their, I don't know, this culture. And two, it shows an insecurity in Kim Jong-un. I'm sure I'm fucking this up, but
you're pretty good so far.
But yeah, anyway, sarcasm now illegal in North Korea. Love it.
They can't something.
I want to see how they enforce that, though. I also read this week that some American student who we thought had been dead for a while has actually been teaching Kim Jong-un English this whole time. He's just been captured and kidnapped.
Well, that's good news.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Couldn't he, why not just kidnap a Rosetta Stone, you idiot? You don't need an actual guy. Was this guy a certified instructor? Or was he just...
I think he just wanted a real English-speaking person. It's weird about the kinds of people that they want to teach you English, because I've told this story before, but my ex-girlfriend had a friend who had this great opportunity to go to South Korea to teach English. And I was like, so you speak Korean? And she's like, oh, no. I was like, so you studied Korean studies or something? Like you're familiar with the region and what they do there? Oh, no, never been to that part of the world at all. And it's, well, they're paying you $80,000 a year. Yeah, 80. And they're putting you up in this house. Yep. They really need people to teach English. And I'm like, I speak better English than you. What is this madness? How are you going to teach it to them? She's like, well, they speak a little English. You just got to get them indoctrinated into this doesn't sound right. But yeah, she's not an English teacher. She doesn't speak any Korean, but she got this gig teaching English just because she's an American English speaking person. Apparently that's good enough.
I don't know how much they get. I was under the impression that they were paid largely in their room and board when they went and did things like that. Maybe they make a good amount as well. I didn't think they did. But I know that was the thing for a bunch of girls I knew in college that were getting degrees that didn't really have any relevance. And they'd just be like, oh, I'm just going to go to South Korea and teach English. And it's like, you don't speak very well at all. So that's going to be a bunch of Valley Girl Koreans over there with weird inflections on their voice. And that, I don't know. It was funny seeing that, because there's no way. I watched something else. Maybe it was about Japan. People from the U.S. teaching English in Japan. Might have been Korea. I assume it wouldn't be Japan just because we're talking about Korea. But apparently those students do not respect the English American teachers at all, because they're all 23-year-old white chicks who show up over there, you know, in their little Gucci bags and their white girl clothes and their pumpkin lattes, and they walk in and start just speaking English and don't show respect for the culture enough. And I don't know, I'll need to find it. It might have been like a Vice video, probably not that prestigious, something maybe a couple echelons lower,
Vox.
but it was pretty neat. Is Vice still around? Man,
I think
don't
it
even
is.
know about that.
I haven't seen it in a while.
Oh, Chiz just linked some breaking news. I can tell from the thumbnail. North Korea. Large quake detected close. Is this sarcastic?
North Korea nuclear test suspected after artificial quake.
Ah,
Oh, so
5.3 earthquake detected close to the test site. Yeah, so they're testing nukes underground again, which is illegal.
I don't think they give a shit.
I-
they don't
that
recognize
isn't
your
a
authority
argument.
on
He's
that.
like, oh, did we set off our hydrogen bomb the wrong way? Sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm
next
so
time we'll do
sorry.
it in your atmosphere.
That's not that funny.
It does bother me a little bit that they really are trending towards nukes. Like, well, of
They
course
got
they
'em.
have
Like,
nukes,
yeah,
but
they
to
already
being
have
able to
nukes.
deliver
It's
the
the
nukes.
delivery.
Yeah. Even the delivery, like,
I read this Reddit post one time that was very informative about how far behind they are with the delivery, and
Go on.
it seemed to have a credence to it. He just went on and on in depth about how difficult it is to get the missile that will deliver anything significant anywhere that bothers us, really. Now, of course, they can hit South Korea and, you know, start a whole little nuclear war right there. But as far as mainland U.S., which I don't know about you, but that's all I really care about at all. You know, us here in the contiguous 48, we're all safe from any sort of North Korean nuclear attack, I'd say 100%.
here's my counter to that. I bet the guess we had, Sailing La Vagabond, could get their boat all the way to a port in New York City without anyone fussing at them. Right? Who's to say that something like that couldn't come from North Korea? You know, just
You mean like load a nuclear weapon
just-
onto a boat and just,
yeah, a 40-foot sailing yacht. You know,
I don't think I have enough. I don't know enough about like
Me
our
too.
anti-terrorism efforts or boating traffic or how ports work when you're an international vessel and all. But I got to believe that maybe there's some sort of, you know, nuclear scanning that takes place. But more likely, they got to keep a pretty good check on what boats are going where, maybe.
But
And then how big is this nuclear weapon that the North Koreans have? Because remember, ours used to be so goddamn big that it was like, well, how are we going to get it there? You know, they were enormous. They would. So
I just wonder, you know, like you know, go a little bigger, a catamaran, and doesn't it just get lost somewhere in the Pacific? You know, like, do they really track every pleasure boat from here to there? I don't know.
Maybe
either.
they get like tagged if they're coming from a certain area of the world. I have no idea. That does
Don't
seem
know.
far-fetched, though.
yeah,
That they'd
it
be
seems
able
like
to
if
do
that
this
was a
to
thing,
you.
then it would happen, right? Like,
No, I was saying it seems far-fetched that we'd be able to track
Oh,
all
okay.
boats all over the world. Like, it seems like if you really had a mission, that they could figure out a way to do it. But I don't know. Like,
I
there's
don't know. They're really bad at like feeding their people. So
I just like
probably
for example,
a first strike is probably not his best move.
they
That's true.
yeah, we want to prevent somebody from going to a mall and shooting up a bunch of people, right? That's the thing we'd like to stop. But doesn't that seem easy to pull off? You know, I'm not saying I could be like Paris level. What'd they get? 140 people, 149 people.
80 people or something.
Was it
right?
80?
I was thinking of the bus thing.
Oh no, I was going with the one where they like trapped them in the stadium and stuff, and just seemed to get shots off.
Yeah, that was more than 80. Yeah.
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 You know, that is a little bit of planning and a little bit of luck and whatever.
You know the guy in Florida castrated and gouged their eyes out in the gay nightclub? They never reported it, but they castrated a lot of those guys and gouged out their eyes with blades and stuff.
I
What?
had no idea.
It was
Yeah.
only one dude.
Are you sure your source? Like, is that definitely true?
The internet, you know, that's where I
Oh,
get most
well,
of my
that's
knowledge.
true. Yeah. Well,
I wasn't there or anything. I didn't do any eye gouging, you know. But let me do a quick Google search. You know, what was it? Miami nightclub.
Yeah.
But how would he even do that unless everybody like agreed to get in line naked?
Right?
And I don't know.
I
That
don't know.
that seems weird.
I haven't really.
I think I'd die for my penis. Like if he was like,
Mhm.
it's castration time. I think that's the time where it's the fight rather than the flight. You know what I mean?
Yes, it's like I'm gonna either lose it and want to die, or just die getting shot right now trying to resist. Like there's no way that a whole big group of gay men, and he was like, I'm gonna cut all your dicks off, and then they're like, but then we'll be okay, right? Like no, no way. Like they would definitely fight back. I don't believe that story. I don't believe that.
I just seem like like I know my penis and we've had so many good times together. I
great times.
Fight to the death for that guy. Yep. Some of my lifetime highs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's a comfort for you in lifetime lows.